You dress
He's
so
the
damn cool. I'm like wearing a grandpa shirt.
well, you are.
Ah, well,
I
yeah, I
gotta,
guess.
I gotta represent. You gotta like, it's my first
Yeah.
time doing this with you. I have to, be presentable at least.
Friends, this is called making an effort, and this is called being a grandpa. I'm so
No, it's called,
ashamed.
comfortable now. You're just
I,
comfortable. You're in
I
your
just,
element.
you know,
You're in your domain. So you can basically be
I just,
shirtless if you want.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. That would harm sensibilities.
You'll get a
I,
lawsuit.
I
You'll get
checked in
like
my
email
closet,
offensive.
and I was like looking in my closet, and I was like, which shirt have I not worn on a podcast in a while, and which one looks goofy? And this one came up. So I
Oh,
think I'm
okay.
hitting. I think I'm hitting the mark here.
You know the secret. You know the secret to that, right?
What's
You
that?
just gotta get like those plain shirts and then accessorize. They'll never know the difference.
Huh?
Ah, there's like a free life hack right there.
There you
Or
go.
get
See?
like those jackets or like anything that covers it. That's all you gotta change really, and then just switch it off. Because jackets you can wear over and over. Who cares? But they don't really see like the inside. So
And
yeah,
and you were concerned about not having stuff to talk about. And
right.
we're what, like 30 seconds in, and you're already giving me like life
Fashion advice.
advice.
Yeah,
Plain
you
shirt and
can
accessorize.
teach
Brilliant.
this to your grandkids. It's things that you can
It's,
talk about around Christmas dinner.
teach it to myself because grandpa.
Yeah.
You know, I guess I could put on a nice shirt and button down and put on a tie
You're
and
not
be all.
selling insurance. I mean, come on. I
So
mean,
how are
if
you?
I were to like come in and you have like that, like if you had a tie on and a jacket on, I would pass that up. I'd be like, he's too serious. He's about to like sell me something in the cemetery. I don't know, like a like
What
a
is
law.
this? Is this a podcast or is this a
Exactly.
is this a
A
sales
seminar.
call?
Yeah, exactly. So
Hey
I
Maria, I
think
was wondering, are you
you're doing good.
happy with your insurance? Are
What
you
insurance? No, I'm just kidding.
are you content? Have you or a loved one ever been injured? Because we can
Yeah.
help.
If I've never before, I think today would be the day after this podcast.
Oh my God. It is bright over there. So you're like still in bright daytime.
It's me.
It's
I'm the
dark.
sunshine here. It's
Ah,
actually nighttime and dark. Yeah. And then I come on and it's like the sun is like that's my natural spotlight. No, it's
ah.
about let's see, 5 p.m. here. I'm in California, so yeah, we still have daytime.
Oh, is that where you live, Cali?
No, I
Because
just come here for this podcast. I'm
well,
sorry.
no, I
Yeah, I'm in
somehow.
California.
How the hell did I
Yeah.
get the impression that you were in one of the
Where?
the Minnesotas or Minneapolis or one of those?
Do I look like I'm from Woodward? Come on now.
Of course not. I wouldn't think that, but I somehow got that idea. What the
Oh,
hell
you
did
know
I
why?
see?
You know what it is? It's because of the videos I used to post because I visited Minnesota, like last year. So that's probably why. Because I was
Maybe.
there probably twice a month,
So
just
then you
visiting.
can't fault me for coming to
That's true.
that conclusion.
That's true.
It's a
But
logical.
well, okay, fine. I'll give you that. Fair enough. But maybe I just moved there. But
Well, I thought
looking
I
at me,
thought
I don't look like I'm from the Midwest.
but that's the thing, like I wouldn't think it, but nowadays you
Yeah.
see everybody everywhere, you know,
Oh,
like,
let me tell you a hint of how you would know that they're from California or they're from like especially the Bay Area. If you hear them say hella, they're straight up Californians because that's our thing here. Hella. You're hella cool. That's hella dope, you know?
okay, okay, there you
or
go.
or
It is
Bammer. Bammer weed, don't smoke that shit in the SFC.
oh my, well, no, I
Yeah.
didn't, I had no idea. I kind of thought you were somewhere cold, like some, but in my
Just my
brain
heart.
I oh snap, my God, we are going there, right? Okay, so you're in Cali. Wow, you're all the way out there. I like
Yeah,
Cali.
I'm Cali is it. I like it here too. I mean, I took it for granted actually because I live here, so I don't really care much for the Golden Gate Bridge. But people actually fly over here,
Oh
to
yeah,
see the Golden Gate Bridge, to go to wherever the hell they go. I see, I
it's
oh,
the,
Pier 39,
it's the same with us
stuff
here.
like that.
The Empire
New York,
State, the
yeah,
Twin Towers. We all just kind of were like they were just there until they weren't, and then that's when you're kind of like,
exactly.
oh man, I really should have visited
Paid
that more
attention.
as an adult. And I mean, I went there, and I think the last time I went there, I might have been maybe in my 20s. So
Oh
it's been a while.
wow.
It's been a while.
That's
Well,
like
not a
40 years ago.
I was gonna say not such a
Nah.
big old while, but okay. So I
Yeah.
didn't really get to appreciate it, and then gone. You know, so
Exactly. See, I was thinking that about Golden Gate Bridge because what if, and something happens? But
you
yeah, we
never,
have a lot of pretty stuff here. So
yeah,
I started appreciating the beaches actually in California
I've
because
seen the
like
videos, I've seen the clips,
yeah, we have some
I've
good
seen.
beaches, some good bitches and some good beaches.
It's-
Yeah, but the one around the Bay Area though, you don't want to really go swimming in there. Not that it's because it's cold, it is freaking cold, but it's this you don't want to come out with like a 12th toe or something, like a third nipple,
Word.
because it just
That's how
looks
it
so
is out there.
toxic. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, like around the Bay Area. It's but
So
mainly because
where are
it's
the beaches you're
cold.
supposed to go to? What do you?
Oh, Santa Cruz, you gotta go to like Bodega Bay, you gotta go to all like around, along the coast. Not
When you say
there's a difference along the
Bay
coast and
Area?
along the San Francisco, Oakland.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the Bay Area.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You're talking to a New Yorker, so I don't really know what that
New
means.
York.
You know.
Yeah.
I went to San
New York
Francisco,
is when did you go to San Francisco?
2004, I think.
Oh, that's not bad. I
2004.
mean,
It was a while
I mean,
ago, but
there's
I had a nice time. Like I
yeah,
really
they just
enjoyed it
have
out
more
there.
buildings now. Nothing really changed. They just have more buildings now,
Yeah.
and the millennials are working now. So you'll
It's a
see them more on
very
the streets. Yeah.
it's very laid back. It was very chill.
Mhm.
Like it's very different from here. I just felt kind of at ease. Like I wasn't as stressful. But also I was
Yes.
kind of vacationing. So it was a little different, but it was nice. I liked it, and I mean, I have family ties here. That's why I came back. Otherwise, I might have just stayed out there. You know.
We're chill here. We're always stoned, so we're chill. You know. Yeah. But you know what? New York is actually the sister city of San Francisco, so they're like similar.
Yeah, in
In
what
a way,
way?
like um, like the busy street. We have the BART station. You have the subway.
What do you call
So
it?
that's also it's called the BART,
Oh,
BART.
yes, that name rings a
Yeah.
bell. Yeah, yeah, that rings a
So
bell.
yeah, and then you have the subway. We also, like our downtown is also congested and stuff. Like there's also people on the streets that are like yelling for no reason. But the only difference is I think New York smells a lot more like pee than us.
That's probably
I
because of
just it's
this.
like
Yeah,
a little bit, but then just a little bit. But then you go to New York, you're like, ah, yes, this is New York. Like it slaps you in the mouth, you know. Like shut up, because
to
how
say
New
the
Yorkers are.
least.
Like you ain't got no time. Yeah, so
Yeah,
New
to say
Yorkers
that.
will like step over a dead body because they got a meeting to go
Yeah, well, we just think that they're sleeping.
to. Yeah,
In our
over
defense,
here
we just
we take pictures first, and we're like, "You okay? All right, then we'll just go." But we will
yeah.
stop to make sure.
In our
But
defense, we
yeah,
just assume that they're sleeping, and a lot of the times, if you approach them, they'll attack you. So you're in a
I know.
in a very weird predicament when approaching people. If you see someone that looks, I saw a video recently of a kid he was actually passed out, and somebody actually had the wherewithal to approach him, and they got him
Oh
medical
wow.
attention and stuff. But in general, we just kind of think that
Hmm.
they're high, drunk, or just
Or something.
it, I mean, I guess with a kid it would be different. You don't see that very often. So
I would hope
um,
not. Yeah.
yeah, no, usually not young children. And we, I mean, I didn't see it. I saw the clip, and I wasn't there, but there was a child, and people approached, and somebody said that he was there maybe half an hour with people just walking by him and stuff because,
Oh wow.
you know, you learn at a very young age here to mind your business. And that it's good and
Yeah.
bad with that. It's good and bad. You know,
Yeah.
there's the good is that you don't get shot, you don't get beat
Yep.
up, you don't get
Mm-hmm.
jumped. But the bad is that there could be somebody who actually needs help and people will kind of just overlook them. So
Mm-hmm.
it's
And
tough.
that's the thing too. It and the sucky part of that is like it became the norm. Like
Yeah.
it's just like it's because everybody has always been doing that. So now everybody's just like, oh, that's just how New York is, you know. But yeah.
Yeah. It's unfortunate that that's just kind of, it's just what it is. But we get a bad rep. We're not as bad as people say we are.
No,
But
no. I've been to New York twice. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
When
It's
I was
it's it's
younger, like
just
I was younger though.
it's
When
just
Trump
about
was still,
say again.
liked. I said when Trump was still liked, I went to New York.
Okay.
So that was like way back.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, listen. You mentioned you guys are always stoned, right? Um, can you talk about that, or is that something you're not comfortable talking about? Um,
Well, it all depends because my probation officer might be watching. I'm just
nah.
kidding. No, like yeah, yeah, we can talk about it. I mean, I'm
Well,
I'm
I'm
very
just
much
I'm
open
just
to it.
like I'm just curious. Like, um, I
Oh, by
kind
the
of
way, not all Californians are stoned. I don't want to get emails, you
no,
guys,
no,
just
no,
saying,
no, no,
I
no,
am not stoned,
no,
but
no.
not all Californians
I
are.
just said that teasing to lead into the fact that
Yeah.
I figured you're not hiding it because I've seen you do it on videos, right? When you're
Mhm.
on the Smule videos and stuff. So I don't think it's something
Yeah.
you particularly you're hiding. Otherwise, I wouldn't mention it.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to get you incriminated. But I just wonder, does that so? I think I may have mentioned anxiety, right?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And things like that. Does that help? Like, does it make a
Ye-
person? Because the last time I smoked weed, I don't know if it was laced or what the hell was in that, but that made me very, very paranoid, and I
Okay,
was tripping,
you
tripping.
you might okay, so well, could have been laced, or you might have been smoking sativa. Sativa is more like it's gonna make you want to clean your whole house, basically,
Oh.
especially if you already have anxieties. Because I
So
I took
sativa
sativa
is a
one
type
time.
of
Yeah,
weed
it's
that
it's a type of strain. So
okay.
there's indica and then there's sativa. Indica is the one that's gonna knock your ass out. That's the one that I do because I have anxiety. As a
Mm.
matter of fact, I just did a puff, power puff before this because I was just like, oh my god, Angel's gonna be like asking me about the world domination. No, I don't know, but yeah. So indica is the one that that kind of mellows you out. That's the one that they'll like sit you down or just kind of chill, and you're just it's supposed to put you to sleep. And then there's sativa that's gonna make you just like me. What I just want to throw cars across the street because like you're just like but you, you're that and you're hungry at the same time. So yeah, so you must have gotten sativa and you already have anxiety, so it brings you up more. So you're more nervous. You're more like, you can't, like, you don't know what you don't know what's happening. You do, but you don't. You have all these thoughts going on in your head. So like, like you're creating, just like, when you're anxious, is you're like worried. It made you paranoid
This was I
because
was
yeah, it
bugging out.
activated your
I,
yeah.
I think I walked. Mind you, it was on Halloween, so
Yes, that's the best time to do it, Angel. When there's like
so
little ghosts running around you.
so I did this because I didn't want to drink. So I was going to go to a party. I didn't want to drink. So I said, let me see if I can avoid the hangover by smoking some weed. And whatever was in this thing, I think I walked 20 blocks just trying to figure out because I went to take the train. I saw a cop. I told the cop, I freaked out. I was like, oh my God, they're going to know. They're going to know. So I got off the train on the next stop and I started walking and walking and walking and walking. And the only thing I remember is two small Asian girls approaching me. and telling me we're trying to get into a party and we don't have a costume. Can we have your hat? Because I was dressed like a prisoner, so I had the little prisoner hat.
Was that me
So
and my cousin? No, I'm just playing.
I said, take it, take it. And I just got the hell away from them. I was so tripping that day. So I haven't touched weed at all since then. I,
Oh,
and
I'm
that's
so
been
sorry
years.
you had a bad experience on weed. You know, man, they ruined the rep line. Well, you know what? It's either it was Lace or it was sativa. That's why you don't be smoking anything from strangers unless you're
What was
in San
my?
Francisco because we take care of you here. But anywhere else, I don't know what you guys all do out there. But
Yeah, I don't know
we
what the
have,
hell my. This
indoor
was from a
grown and stuff like
friend
that.
too. Like it was a
Oh,
friend of mine. He's
yeah.
like, yo, Angel, this is some hydroponic stuff, and I was like, I don't know what that means, man, but cool, So I
It
told him,
means you're gonna be shit you're gonna be
so
paranoid, you're gonna be
yeah, you're gonna be tripping, Angel, but don't
you're gonna
worry,
be tripping.
just I. He said I was supposed to take like a couple puffs, but I smoked the whole thing too. That was the other thing. So I like made a
There
big
you
blunt,
go.
like a blunt, because
Yeah.
I'm from the hood. That's what we do. We do blunts, So I made a blunt and I put it all
Yes.
in there, and yeah, this was not,
Oh wow.
very, very
Well, the good
unpleasant.
thing about cannabis is you can't overdose really. You get super high, but you can't overdose, you
Yeah.
know.
Otherwise,
So
maybe I'd be a cannabis casualty right now after.
yeah. I remember the first time I did sativa. I didn't even know it was sativa. So um I had it like we my boyfriend at that time,
Mhm.
we had it on like those tea holders, like when you I don't know, like stip, I guess. And so we put it all there, like and I didn't know it was sativa. And then we dipped it in tea, and then the tea, and then we poured chocolate milk into it, right?
Oh my.
And then drank it, you know. About half an hour later, I started feeling like the place was about to tip over. So I was doing this, right? But so I was doing this, and he was like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "the," I said, the building's tipping," and they're like, "No, it's not," because I was like getting paranoid. Everything was just like spinning. So
Mm.
what I found out, I learned two things there. One is THC and dairy. If you mix it, it's going to amplify the high. So
Oh.
yes, yeah. And this was like sitting on the weed. So like all that dairy was like mixing it, like it's like fermented. So I was like super
Oh.
freaking stoned, and I thought I was gonna die because my heart started pumping, and I'm like, oh my God. I was like, can you tell my kids I love them? I was like, so I call this is like 2 a.m. I call my best friend up and I'm like, this is what I did. I think I'm dying. And then she goes, just go to sleep, bitch. She goes, like you smoked sativa. She doesn't call me in the morning. Just close your eyes. So
Oh my
yeah,
God.
it's not a fun thing when you do it too much.
Yeah, that was definitely a weird experience, and it wasn't the only one. I also tried edibles, and
Oh shit.
I did the same thing with the edibles. So I had one piece. So it was cookies, right? So I had half a cookie. I didn't feel anything. I said, let me eat the other half. I didn't feel anything. I said, let me eat another half. And I didn't feel anything. And then I ate another. So now we're talking, I think it was two cookies, if I remember right. And then the
Oh
world started
wow.
to spin.
Yes.
Everything started to spin, and I once again was like, what the hell is, and I just laid down and it was like vroom, 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 vroom. I got vertigo some months ago. It felt like I had vertigo. That's what it was like.
Yes. And it felt like it wasn't gonna stop, like it was gonna go on forever,
That was
right?
so
And
weird.
they tell you, oh, you got to eat this or drink this, or like nothing would help. You're still, air, anything, nothing would help. You just got to like ride it. And so
Remember to
you're like,
breathe.
just imagine being in a carousel that's like 250 miles an hour, and then you're
Yeah.
stuck there until it stops and you don't know when to stop. That's how it feels like. And then when you lay down, it just feels like the whole thing was just like tipping over. and it's a heavy
Yes.
feeling in your head, and it makes you panic, and they're like, calm down, and you can't because you're like gonna die. Are you gonna calm down? So yeah, that's the effect. That's the only thing about like if you overdo it, but you don't, no, no,
Oh,
I've never had anybody who overdosed on it. It's just gonna be a weird ride.
well, I haven't had edibles since. You you know, it was the same thing. Like bad experiences, out. I'm done. So I tried CBD. I started taking CBD without the THC. You know, the
Uh-huh.
just the
How's that working out?
if I take the sleep one, I sleep well. I'm knocked out. They have a sleep one, but then they have one called Calm and they have one called Recovery. I don't particularly feel
Calm or
any.
recovered?
I don't really feel anything with the stuff. The
Well,
sleeping one
yeah.
has
Melatonin?
melatonin, and
Uh-huh.
that's just I take it and I'm gone. You know, like I'm out.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
um,
Uh, Come to California and you'll change your mind about weed. Well, we have
one day.
dispensary. We have dispensaries here that delivers like pizza. We
Wow.
do. Things I've never said, like I never thought I would tell my mom, Mom, do you have a change for 100 because my weed is outside?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, they
crazy,
deliver
right?
it. They have it in a bag and it's like, yeah, like you order it online, just like pizza. You tell them what you want, what kind of strain. Because there's like also what is that one? Like
Different
when they mix it, it's
flavors.
hybrid. Yeah, different flavors. They have like, OG, Grandpa's breath. I don't know. Like, it looks like you're ordering something, like some
Oh my
kind of,
god.
yeah, they have like weird
Whatever
names,
happened
like
to the
wedding
days when
crashers.
weed was just weed? You
I
know,
know,
like
huh?
I would go to my man Ninja in the corner. Hey man, what's up? Hey, what's up, brother? Yo, can I get some? You got some
A
weed?
dime bag. Yeah.
That's it. Dime bag or a nickel bag, and that was that.
Yeah.
It's funny. I went to him years later, when I was a little older, and he didn't
Uh-huh.
recognize me. He thought I was a cop. My man Ninja, he didn't recognize me. He said, "You get out of my face before me bust you blood clot." I was like, "Hey man, it's Angel from across. Me no talk to you." Like he thought I was a cop. You know, me no talk to
Yeah.
no pig. Get out. And I was just like,
Oh, were you wearing that hat and that outfit? Is that what it was?
I had a high and tight military haircut. Um,
Oh, see, yeah. That's the haircut
yeah,
that does it. Yeah.
yeah, I had high and tight. I was wearing a button down, but I was with my boy. I was visiting my boy in the same neighborhood where we grew up. And I was like, yo, let me go holler at my man Ninja. I haven't seen this guy in a couple years, you know? And
Yeah.
he just he just was not, nothing for you. I got nothing for you. I was just like, "Yeah, man, take care, man." And he just looked at me. I was like, damn, this dude don't recognize me. He's known me for years. Like,
It's the button. I told you, button down shirts. Once you
I
go
can't,
formal, it's just not gonna work. So,
I
stay
couldn't,
away
I
from that.
couldn't, I couldn't buy weed in the hood anymore. You know what I mean? I
Ah,
couldn't,
was that they revoked your street cred.
you know.
My credit may be bad, but at least my street cred is like, you know.
Yeah, they took away my, I, just, I kind of just, I said, yo, can you go get it? I told my friend, he's like, dude, just go to Ninja. I'm like, dude, Ninja just cursed me out, bro. Ninja just told me to go away before he bust a cap in my blood clot ass. I don't think Ninja's gonna sell me the weed, you know. So I had to send
He'll
my
disappear. Yeah, did he disappear like ninja? He's like, I don't know you, bitch. And then he's
no,
like
he was still there.
disappears.
He wasn't worried about me. He
Yeah.
made sure I disappeared, like you get out of here. So my friend came down and he got it, and there's no issue.
Yeah.
And but he
Oh,
recognized him.
yeah.
He knows who he is.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
Man, yeah, I remember back then you just buy it like in a dime bag or you just like it doesn't even have a
weed was
name. Like
weed.
what like
It's just
they didn't
weed.
even know what it was,
It's the
like what is
chronic. You're gonna
this?
get the chronic. That's it.
Exactly. Like you just gotta like smell it real quick. Oh yeah, it smells good. Some of them were like have would have seeds in it and stuff.
They
Yeah, I remember it's
decriminalized
like
it
the
here.
small ones.
It was just decriminalized recreational marijuana in New York City. So you
Oh,
know,
so just recently? Oh yeah, that's right.
yeah, this
Yeah,
is
no,
very very
California I think
recently.
was one. I think it was like Colorado first, right? And then, California followed and stuff. It's about time. I mean, really. I mean, they're realizing now that like it's really a big business and it's
Yeah.
helping tax. So
And
yeah.
hopefully, a lot of people who've been dealing or have been punished because of it, they can get sorted out, because
Yes.
a lot of families have been broken up, a lot of people have been jailed,
Yeah.
you know,
Especially like those who got caught with just, probably like a joint, you
yeah,
know. Yeah, and it's just sad. It's like because that person probably needed it. And yeah, I know what you mean. But because like
it's
we
a
have that here too.
medication. So
It is.
hopefully, they let kind of people, let them off the hook now that it's,
Hmm.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty wild. I mean, a lot of people are doing some
Yeah.
very long sentences for menial, just small crimes, and hopefully helps people
But let me
out.
tell you, this is how powerful cannabis is really is my mom walked in my room one time, right? Secondhand smoke.
Mm.
That she mellowed out real quick, and she could understand. She was just happy cooking. She was like, "You want some more food?" But
Oh
yeah,
my
she
God.
and it's just always high strung. It's like all stress and stuff. But walked in one time and it's like, she's like, "Oh, just turn on the fan." That's all she says. And then but yeah, but the whole time she was just like mellowed. And then she comes to me, she goes, "Maybe you should give some to your dad."
Ah, that's funny.
Yeah. So but I recommend it. I mean, I'm not going to like, tell people that like, oh, this is bad. No, it's actually like I'm open to my kids about it. My kids know I do it. I educate them on it because I'd rather have them listen to, to get it from me than in the streets
Of
or in
course.
the internet.
Like, yeah,
Because
or
kids nowadays they're getting misinformed in the internet. So I make sure that I tell my kids, okay, so this is what this is for, you know. So yeah.
and you also
But
can
yeah.
control it because you don't know how it's gonna affect them. So I told that to
Hmm.
my son. I said, listen, man, I don't really smoke. I don't really do anything. But if there ever comes a time you want to smoke a blunt or smoke a joint or whatever,
Hmm. Yeah,
tell me, and I'll get it for you.
exactly.
And you can do it here where you're safe,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
and then know
Uh-huh.
how your body reacts, know how you respond to it, so that
Yeah.
you're safe. Whereas if you're in the street, especially, well, I don't know how many you have, 4 kids,
Yeah, I have four
or
kids. I have
and
I know, right? Fabulous
it's
me. Four kids.
and it's all
20,
girls.
yeah. No, I have three girls and one boy. I have a 21-year-old,
Oh,
a 19-year-old, a 16-year-old, and a 13-year-old.
okay.
My 21-year-old got her her what is that? Her permit to buy at the age of 18. But she wasn't even like the first one to get it, over here before when it was like still required. But
Right, right.
now it's like she was, so I was, and now I didn't really like say anything because she was very open with me. She was, "Mom, I'm getting this is, this is why." And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, go ahead." So like my kids are very open with me because I gave them an open platform. If you want to
Right.
try this, try that, come to me. I'd rather see it here where
Mm.
I know you guys are safe.
Especially
So,
girls,
oh
especially
yeah,
girls,
surely
because
girls. Yeah.
I mean, not to downplay that things can happen to boys, but I think I think most people would agree,
Yeah.
um, you want to be very careful with girls, especially at parties, and
Mm-hmm.
with all that stuff, because
And yeah.
it's
And
dangerous.
with that in mind, it's like I started this thing with kids years ago. It's called a check-in. And what I do is I gather them up one evening, every weekend. And it's like, we usually do it like end of the week, like, like Friday or Saturday. And we would do a check-in, which means tell me what happened during this week that I missed, or do you have an appointment? Does mommy needs to sign anything? So basically it's just like what's happening right now, what needs to be taken care of. So we put that
Mm,
on the table. And then the next one is we give a shout out to each other, which is also they say something nice to their sibling, like three nice things and one that needs to be improved. That's like the ratio. Always give three positives, one negative, you know. So they would go around doing that. It's like, oh, thank you for helping me with my homework yesterday, and also thank you for like, like everything positive. And then for the one that's that needs to be improved, one would say, oh, I wish you wouldn't yell at me when I'm asking you a question, things like that. So I opened up that communication channel between them, and it started years ago, and it became like a tradition for us. So they expect it, and it actually helped with their communication skills. Oh, I feel
Right.
sorry for the guy that would date them, because they are so their boundaries are like, ooh, they even tell me no, and I'm like, oh, okay, so like, not right now, mom, I'm processing. But yeah. So, and
Oh, that's
then we would
awesome.
talk about like
That's
good memories about, yeah, and then we play games afterwards. So it was my way of like, because moms get busy, we get busy, like, when then we forget, like, we don't know what's happening in their life. So for me, and I have four, I can't, so what I did was just gather them up in one place, and then just like, tell me what's happening with you, what's happening with you, what's happening with you, and even my little one, she was little, but she was talking like, well, I think everybody should be, like an 8-year-old talking like a
yeah,
30-year
yeah.
old. So yeah, they're
Well,
very
that's
much
very healthy. I think
expressive.
that's very,
Mhm.
very healthy because it's important. Communication is so important. Trust and communication, it's
Yeah,
really important. Some people say you shouldn't be friends with your kids, that you should be like the iron law and stuff. I don't agree with that. I always fostered trust and comfort with my son, and we joke around, and it was very important to me that he trusts me, that he knows he can come and tell me anything, even
yeah,
something that
yeah,
he did that was horrible. He needs to know
yeah,
that he can come and I got his back, or if if it's wrong, then we're gonna work on it.
exactly. There's
Not
gotta be like a balance, that
yeah,
like friend and parent balance.
right.
Like, we're cool, but once you disrespect me,
Yeah,
that would be
you
like
got
overstepping. Then that's when, who the fuck you think you're talking to, So yeah, because my kids, they don't cuss in front of me. They've never like fought, like nothing like that too. They work things out on their own. So I totally missed out on, like, like your kids fighting and yelling, and you have to, like, like, referee them. I missed out on that because they talk things out. So yeah.
that's good. I
But
mean, that's super. Well, that's good parenting on your part. You know, um,
mm,
because
well, just kids need, well, the only reason why kids don't tell parents anything is because it's the fear of being judged, it's the fear of punishment. But if you give them
mm,
an open platform, to come into, where they can freely express what's going on, whether negative, positive, anything, and you got to follow through, and you don't judge them for it, and you don't punish it, and you just listen to it as is, and then try to and understand what they're feeling. You can't invalidate it by saying, oh, you shouldn't do that, or you shouldn't feel it. It's like, okay, because that's what they're feeling. So you just basically, okay, then what are we gonna do? What do you think is the next step from then on? Because when something happens, you cannot really go back and regret, and like, you shouldn't have to. Like the Holy Trinity, would have, could have, should have. So I told them,
mm,
we don't pray to the Holy Trinity of would have, Holy Trinity of regrets. That's what I call it. The would have, could have, should have. And okay, it happened. What do we do now? So it
right.
also helps with their problem solving skills. So I try not to, I want to solve it for them, but I have to step back sometimes, and I'm like, let them fuck up, because that's the only way for them to learn. I just
Yeah,
got to be there for them, but that's all we can do, really. So
yeah.
yeah.
Well, because you're not always gonna be there when their critical decisions come up. So
Mm-hmm.
you have to give them the tools to make the decision. That's something me and his mom spoke about. Was she was more of she's more of hands-on. She wants to
Mm-hmm.
control everything, and I'm more like, let him go through the motions, let him learn, because he has to make the choice himself. Not do
Mm-hmm.
this because daddy said so, not because Angel said this is the way it is because I said it. I don't want that.
Yeah,
This is I want you to do
that's old
this.
generation. Yeah.
You know, I want you to do this because if you don't, this is what's going to happen, you know,
Mhm.
and that
Mhm.
could be a problem, right? He's like, I want him to understand, yeah, you know what,
Mhm.
well, yeah, listen, you got to finish school because if you don't, you're going to be living with your parents, and that's probably not going to make you look good because you want to have a girlfriend, right? you know so you don't want
Yeah.
to be a 40-year-old guy who lives in his dad's room, right? And bring your girlfriend over. I mean, there are circumstances where that happens, or there's circumstances where the parent lives with you, or whatever the
Mhm.
case may
Mhm.
be. But
Oh yeah, there's
you
the
know
difference. Yeah.
so I'm not, I don't want to be misinterpreted as though I'm knocking individuals. Hey, listen, I could lose my job tomorrow and I'd have to go to my mom's. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
things like that can happen. I'm talking about straight up, just you have no recourse in life but
Mhm.
to stay at home, living with your parents, supporting you and stuff, and you
Mhm.
want to be out dating and stuff. You got to ask your dad for money, to take your girl out.
Yeah.
That's not a good
Um,
look when you're 30. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So,
Speaking of that, like when you're in your 30s and you do that, yeah, I understand. Like, shit happens. I mean, I think give it about 6 months. If you pass 6 months and you're still there and it's like comes like a year, 2 years, come on now. You're just
yeah,
like comfortable now. You just don't want to like better your life now. You're just depending. But yeah,
yeah,
there's some circumstances. But I really think that like, early on, once kids learn responsibilities and ownership and just like that
mhm,
that their self-esteem is healthy and stuff, they will want to have something for themselves, and not
yeah.
depend on their parents, and they'll end up helping you instead too.
Yeah,
So
or dumping your ass in the home, but that's a whole other.
I know, right? That's a whole other. I told my kids, if you guys put me in a home when I die, I'm gonna haunt you.
I'm gonna come for you, right? You might
I'm gonna
think you're
come for you
free,
and pull
but
your legs. Yeah. Man.
I'm gonna
But
take
oh
your
god,
children,
yeah.
the sins of the father. you know,
Exactly.
yeah,
No,
they're
my
gonna.
my yeah, I'm really proud of my kids. I mean, they know, like,
Good,
they'll ask
good.
me anything, you know.
Yeah, sounds like you've
So
done a good job. That's good. You know.
I try, but yeah, I try. That's all we can do really is try our best of what we have as a parent. I think I overcompensated too. I mean, I can't help it. I'm only human because, divorced parents. I don't
Mm.
know if there's any other single moms out there, but we have this tendency to like overcompensate of like, you know, I can't give you a dad right now, but let me do more kind of thing. So I've done that too.
Well,
Which
you're a
is
mother and
there's
a
some
father, right?
yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah.
You know, you
True.
are you are you're teaching that boy how to be a man, right? I
That's
mean,
true. I can't teach him how to fish, but
you
I can
know,
teach him how to respect, like a woman. So yeah.
he's gonna learn, his lessons in life and stuff that
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's what it is, it's real, it's what it
Exactly.
is.
Yeah. And he
Mom,
loves his sister. So
good.
I told him, I said, just imagine the girl as like, like how would a guy how would you want a guy treat your sisters? Then you do that. So yeah. But
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, no, this it's important, and my son is very respectful as well. Actually, he's in a grand improvement on me, you know. Um,
yeah.
yeah, he actually calls me out on stuff sometimes. He's like, "Yo, pops, why you looking at her? Why you looking at that girl's butt?" I'm like, I didn't do it like
Yeah.
blatantly. He's like, "Yeah, I know, but you're looking, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, but I didn't do it in a disrespectful, blatant way." He's like, "Yeah, I know, but I saw you, and I know you're doing it even before you do it." I'm like, "Well, I
And you can't really say, yeah.
I'm like, dude, listen, man, I'm a freaking human. I just glance. It's what it is. It's like
Shut up,
I'm
you're
not
grounded.
doing.
No.
I say, hey, man, and but he gets on me, so he takes it to
Mhm,
another level. So like his level of loyalty to his girlfriend is, it's on a entirely different plane. Like he feels
mhm,
bad if he notices someone who's pretty, which
mhm.
in my opinion, it's a bit much. There's nothing wrong with acknowledging that someone is pretty.
Yes.
If you see someone that is attractive and appealing to you, then
Mhm.
just acknowledge it. Oh, that this person's attractive.
Yeah.
He's gotten
One.
better.
Yeah.
Some days ago he did that. He said, "Yo, pops, listen, man, not for nothing, but love my girlfriend, and but that one's, she's beautiful. I'm like, I know. You know,
I'm
and
a,
there's nothing
you know,
wrong.
I'm gonna say it now. There's a rule about that in a relationship. Okay. I don't care what anybody says, but there's this one glance rule. You're
Uh,
only allowed one glance. A second glance, now that's being disrespectful. But if
well,
you
you
glance at
can't
one time,
glance when you're with your partner. That you
yes, you
can't
can.
do
It's
that.
okay. Like you can glance, and then because otherwise you'll be doing this. If you
I
don't,
am like
you know
this.
you want to look at it. Okay, then that's wrong. You can
I'm like this.
that's asking for like something. Yeah.
You
No, I
know.
mean like when you like when you see a nice. I'm not saying that comparing humans to like things, but when you see something pretty, because it attracts us. Something shiny, something new, something fresh, smells good. Whatever. We get like we'll follow it, and it's like, oh, okay. But if you do it twice, now that is actually going for that desire, because we're human. We have that instinct to get our attention grabbed by something that's like fresh, new, like sparkly. Especially guys are very visual. Women are slick. We're slick, but I'm not gonna give out our secrets, ladies, but we're but a guy, if you want your girl to not give you a hard time, you don't look twice.
well,
No. And the
yeah.
answer is always, you're prettier.
What that? No way.
Exactly.
Does that? Hell
Oh
no.
my God.
Does
I
this
have
dress make
another.
me look fat? Hell no. What?
I'm gonna do a blog. Actually gonna do a blog about white lies. The things that are acceptable white lies from men and women. I'm actually gonna do a blog about that. That's upcoming soon.
You
So
have a blog site?
yes, I started a media. It's called Crossing Mars Media. I started putting like little contents here and there, but it actually it targets, or I'm trying to reach out to women who went through the same thing I went through with like toxic relationships, but it's bad for you, and but you can't help but like go back to it. So I say, if you want to text your toxic boyfriend, don't text them, call me, because I know you just want to, things like that. So I want to tell them certain stories that I've been through, that you are not the only one who did this, because love makes you walk around with your thumb up your either ass or your mouth. Hopefully not one after the other, because but
Ugh,
yeah. So, but
sexy.
yeah, it's like that. That's like, you can be the most intelligent woman, and once you're in love, for some reason, that, especially me, the IQ goes out the window. It's like non-existent. So I've been through a lot of. So let's just say I made a lot of
So
mistakes.
what is the website? What's the?
It's on IG. I'm on Instagram, and just put Crossing Mars Media. CROSSING Mars MARS. Media. So it's my new solo project, and it's about life experiences relating to other women who's been through so much, mental health, because I have anxieties. Of course, I think once you become a mom, it comes with it. So
Oh,
yeah, and then also like trauma, or why am I choosing this type of relationship, and then no and then you have to like look at like, how were you brought up, you know so for me, is my relationship with my dad, because since that wasn't addressed, it stemmed out towards who I was choosing as partners. you
daddy
know
issues, as
the
they say,
daddy
right?
issues, yeah, like the seeking validation from a male who's an asshole. So I was dating assholes.
Mm.
So yeah, that I
Okay.
always gravitated to, like, to males who are going to like either restrict me, or I have to fight for their love. And I couldn't understand why I keep ending up with people like that. So, you know. But
You
yeah,
found
like,
you found that out on your own, or
well, I
soul
well, yes,
searching, or
yes, all
um
of the above. Because oh my gosh, do we have time? Because you know what, this is I will be talking about that too in my in my page. But yeah, like, a friend of mine who's a hypnotherapist, he suggested to date myself after a lot of failed relationships, and I'm like, hell no, I'm gonna date myself. And he goes, well, how some am I gonna date you if you can't even stand yourself?
mhm.
See, like, how do you expect somebody to, like, be with you if you can't even be with yourself
What
by
does date
yourself?
yourself mean?
Basically, you're going to love yourself, you're going to take care of yourself, you're going to get to know who you are, accept your everything, and work on it and stuff. Just like have a relationship with yourself. You got to start treating yourself nicely, you know, go on a date with yourself, you know, like treat yourself to a luxurious, you know, item or a spa, or, you know, when you're crying, forgive yourself for crying. You're not bad. You're feeling bad. It's real. You know, it's basically having a relationship and understanding who you are. So with that came with me wanting to learn about behaviors and the brain and the function of it and stuff. So I went back to school, took psychology, you know, in my career field. It was actually helpful because I do behavior. I'm a behavior therapist. So all that kind of came into play. So, and then I started just, you know, studying on my own, never stopped studying. I'm very curious. So I gravitated towards, you know, brain functions and the behavior causes, the conscious, the unconscious, and
What's
all
a
the way up to spirituality.
what's a behavior therapist? What?
Okay. Well, basically, we teach parents how to bribe their children to act correctly. No,
Oh,
um, it's I work with families that has who has kids with autism in the spectrum.
oh,
So basically, I work with the kids, you know, in the spectrum, and then teach them, you know, how to tackle you know, everyday things, you know, like because some kids will have a hard time uh you know, adjusting to a new schedule. So how do we do that, you know? So we have to condition them. Or we have sometimes kids in that spectrum don't know how to, you know, do simple things like brush their teeth, you know, what's the correct way. So like telling them the steps, you know. You never know how much jumping, teaching somebody how to jump, like it's a very challenging thing. Trying to teach somebody how to jump, like they've never jumped before. How would you explain that, you know? So you have to like pay attention to like how does your feet form when you jump. So basically it's like bending your knees, now come up, you know. I had to teach a 3-year-old how to jump, and oh boy, the happiness that family was like feeling those are like, you know, uncomparable. But yeah, that's what we do. We teach kids in the spectrum how to you know, how to go about their day
yeah.
less challenging, you know, for them and the families. So, and bribe. No, it's basically it's reinforcement, you guys. It's not right. Don't email me. I know what I'm talking about. I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's called reinforcement, because behaviors really, we do shit because we want something. You know, it's either attention, or we want to attain something, or we want to escape something, or we want to touch something, like a sensory thing, you know, like we just want to feel good. So those are the four reasons why we
Motivators.
behave a
Yeah.
certain way. Yeah. So we just got to find that reinforcement, you know.
It's interesting,
But yeah.
right? This stuff
Mhm.
is really, it's really fascinating. So
You didn't know that about me, huh? You thought I was just some girl who smokes weed on Smule. I was like,
no, 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 no. I had absolutely no no opinion in terms of your career and things like that, because
thank you.
that's not something you've ever presented, you know.
Yeah, I
um
don't talk
you
about
know
myself. Yeah.
like I just know that you like to sing, you know,
Hmm.
and we sing together sometimes, and that's
Yes.
in my opinion, you well, up until even on Instagram, you're fairly private. There's not I'm really not gleaning much about your personal life there, right? And
Yeah.
even we connected on Facebook, you know. I didn't go snoop or anything, but when I see your
Yeah.
posts, there's very rarely anything that's telling me about what you do. It's just like
Yeah.
I got you kung fu. Your
Uh-huh.
Instagram is all you singing,
Uh-huh.
right? You
Yes.
know, and basically every once in a while I'll see a random post, but it's not like, you're not an open book on there. So I had no, like I made no
That's
assumptions or anything.
that's the secret of giving a lot of information without giving the information.
Yeah.
Come
Yeah. I
to my
think
page to learn that. No, I'm just kidding. I
yeah, check out the
have a lot of tricks.
Instagram.
I know. But
Yeah.
yeah.
You go
Yeah.
to my social and you're gonna get a real damn understanding of who the hell I am.
No,
Because
I
I'm
found like
pouring it
your
out there.
journey is like I okay. So I was surprised when when I saw that you did Zumba, and I'm like,
Uh,
oh my gosh, So now I know that you sing and you also like dance. So I said, oh, that's pretty cool. So I didn't know that. Looking at you, I'd be like, he's a car salesman. But no, but you tell me, and I'm just kidding. But yeah.
uh,
And oh, and let me tell you this. Let me tell you this one too. You were the one who convinced me that leaving the name Cross was a great idea. Because I was in the when you and I first met, I was
mm,
still a little bit new on Smule. I had just signed up. I'm finally paying for my membership, you know. So it was I'm like, okay, fine. I'm like in it officially. So um and I wanted to change my name because I didn't know what I was gonna be really. But then one of the opens that you did, one of the invites, you said, "Cross, where are you?" And
uh,
that just sounded so like, wow, that's badass, like Cross.
uh,
Oh my gosh.
it's
So
kind of
I'm like,
dope,
yeah,
right?
I'm
Yeah,
keeping
it
that.
sounds
Yeah. So I'm
dope.
like,
Yeah,
nah, I'm gonna be Mars Cross. So Mars Cross just kind of stuck. So now she's the brand. So yeah, Mars Cross, just Mars
that's
Cross.
dope. Awesome. Sheesh.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah, it was
It
you who
is.
actually like just kind of like nailed it. And then I'm like, because when you're like Cross, you want like Cross, where are you? I think it was like a Bon Jovi song or something. And I'm like, that sounded really good. Like I kind of like the sound of that. So
Yeah,
yeah,
well, I didn't even know your name until recently. You know what I mean? I just knew you as what you
Mars,
post on, or
exactly. I
Madam
can
Alpha
be
Omega. So
yes.
that's just to reinforce that I had absolutely no,
No, I
I didn't
yeah,
assume that you were, a doctor or a deadbeat. I just assumed that you
yeah.
were,
No,
and
I'm not a doctor.
but you know what I'm
Can't
saying?
say that.
Like
Yeah, I know.
no extremes. Like I had no
Hmm.
no thought that you were some bum, and I had no thought that you were, like a president or just a person. And
Yeah,
when the
like
time
no way.
came, I would know who
Uh-huh.
you are.
Yeah,
That's
I'll drop a little bit of info here and there. Like I would say, oh my god, I'm this. It would be it's more like, oh, I'm doing this. So like, and you would ask, why is she doing that? Oh my god, she's that. So it was never like, oh, I am this and I do this and la la la. It was because to me that's kind of like bragging, which is fine. I'm not knocking on brag because like if you want to tell people who do it, I don't care. It's just my personal choice to just kind of like show it through my action. I don't have to say anything, but just to kind of like show it. Madhouse don't know that I do kung fu.
oh.
They don't know what I do for a living. They don't know. They don't know that probably I have 4 kids. They don't know I'm 46.
Mm.
They probably even like they
Well,
don't
they
know
will
that. So they
now.
I know, right? So, like just some close, people that like I would kind of tell them, but I never really like talk about any of my accomplishments or anything. And I'm full of stories too. So that's why when I hear like rumors or gossips or whatever, I just laugh at it. I don't pay attention to because they're using the assumptions of what they only see in the social media,
Right.
so they don't really know the real me. So even if like they think they know the real me, it's still not, they haven't even surfaced
Scratch
because
the
I'm
surface.
very yeah, that's that. Yeah, like they always say, you surprise me. I'm like, yep, you're gonna keep getting surprised, you know. So, but yeah, it just kind of teaches them like, yeah, you shouldn't judge people based on what you
Yeah.
see, or because it goes deeper than that. So yeah, but
I
I know.
learned that a long time ago, and I've had some conversations with people who were on the street, and most people would walk by them and not even acknowledge them, and I'll engage and have a conversation, and you know i- again, in New York, like I was saying in the beginning, we tend to mind our business. But I walk my dog, and when I walk my dog, everyone talks to me, right? When I walk her and take her out and stuff. So a couple of days ago, I was having a conversation with a guy, and he was deep. He was going deep into this stuff and breaking. We were just having this crazy conversation, but he was on the street. Now, most people will look down on him, right? But
Uh-huh.
that you don't know who that person is. You don't know
Yeah.
what he's been through. You don't know what he knows. You know. So I try to always be aware of that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
to always keep in mind you have no idea who's who. You have no
Mm-hmm.
idea. I had to take a guy today out of the Zumba room, right? Because we were doing a class,
Mm-hmm.
and you're not supposed to
Mm-hmm.
be in there when we're teaching. So I asked him very respectfully, very nicely. We gotta. He came at me in a very hostile manner. His response was very hostile. You know,
Mm-hmm.
um, and I was kind of bothered by that and stuff. But then as we're talking now, I just reflected on that, and he could have had a bad day. I don't know. He could have
Yeah.
had a bad day. He could have gotten fired.
Exactly.
You just don't know. So I'm not angry about it. I was a little flustered about it earlier,
Yeah.
because he was
Yeah.
just hostile. When I was
Yeah.
very, I approached with my hands kind of like, hey, listen, we're doing a class, and I really hate to
Mm-hmm.
do this, but I got to ask you to, you got to step out for
Mm-hmm.
the duration of the class, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy's like, where does that come from? According to who? This was his
According.
response. And I
Yeah.
was like, well, it's the gym policy. We have a limited number of people that are allowed in here. He's like, yeah, is that right? And I say, hey,
Mm.
that's the policy.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I'm gonna go to the front desk and check it out. And I was like, totally cool. Again, I'm sorry to have to,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, nah, don't worry about it. And he walked out. It's just
Yeah.
hostile. You know, um, I don't know. My ego wants,
Oh no. Yeah. No, but you handled that how it was supposed to be handled because you met his chaos with your calm. I mean, chaos and chaos is not gonna work. But
right.
if you meet someone yelling at you, but you talk to them in a very okay, I understand. Guarantee it, they're gonna try to lower down too because it's just meeting a chaos with calm. Because then they're gonna start hearing themselves yell, and we don't like to hear ourselves yell, and then people are looking and so yeah, and you're just calm and talk to them. And I know you want to punch them in the face, but you're just gonna go, I understand,
Is
because
it
people
that
just want to be
obvious?
heard. Yeah,
Did you
exactly.
sensing that from me, the New Yorker in me? Like you
Yeah,
getting
I
that
know,
Bronx
right?
vibe? I kind of did.
Man, just with your story, I want to punch him. That's why. No, but yeah, it's basically they just want to be heard. They're going through something. It's usually not even about you. It's probably something
Yeah,
that happened the day before. The girlfriend hung up on them or some shit. So they're looking for
yeah.
conflict. So most people who complain, they're looking for conflict because they want to take that out on people. Like, it's your fault because yeah, because they don't want to
Mm.
carry that. So, but really, they just want to be heard because they just felt like they were misunderstood. But if you just kind of go, okay, well, just let them talk it out, even if they're yelling, just well, we have to, out of respect with other people, we have to take it outside, your customer service, whatever stuff you guys do. But yeah,
Uh,
but
I
yeah,
I don't
you
yell.
did right. You did right. Imagine if you
Very
started
seldomly.
yelling too,
Yeah, you were very
it
very.
would have escalated.
Yeah,
Yeah, because if you would have
well, yeah,
yelled,
we would have. If
it
I
would have
yelled, it would have been a
exactly.
fist fight without a doubt.
Hmm.
That guy was.
Yeah,
He didn't look like a guy who's gonna back down. He looked like
yeah,
and if I came at him in the same level of energy, then
yeah.
it would have definitely
and
come
and
up.
he would have a reason to punch you too, but he didn't have any
Yeah.
reason to really. That's why I said I'm gonna go to the front desk, but I'm still
Mhm.
mad at you. I don't know why, but I am.
Yeah. I
So,
think it's just
but he
ego.
didn't have any reason. It is.
It's ego.
You
Like
got it
he's
back. You
probably
you you
he.
kicked him out of
Yeah.
doing the Roomba.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I try to
So
do it in a respectful way. I never, I'm always like,
yeah,
guys, I'm sorry, like my hands are like, like in a pleading, because I want to appear uh,
threatening.
non-confrontational, non-threatening,
Yeah.
non-offensive, you know,
Hmm.
um, I don't want to embarrass you, it's like, hey, listen, and I say it quietly so everybody doesn't
Yeah.
hear it. Like I'm not going, yo, you know, I did it to one
Yeah.
guy though. He pissed me off. He crossed the line, and I kind of was like, "Yo, my man, you gotta go." And he just looked at me. I was like, "You gotta go, bro." Like now I was
Yeah.
mad. Now at that point I
Yeah.
was mad, but he was just, he pushed it because he was in the
Yeah.
room, and I
Uh-huh.
allowed him to stay, right?
Yeah.
And which I'm I don't have to do it. I allowed him to
Mm-hmm.
stay, and then he was getting carried away with what he was doing, and it was
Yeah.
distracting to the class. He was just
Yeah.
going OD, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, my man, I'm sorry, man, you gotta go." And he's like, "No, I'm gonna finish this." I was like, "You gotta go, bro." Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I made him leave, and like I don't
And he
like to do
did.
that. Yeah, he left.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I start, like
Yeah.
he kind of just, I don't think he expected um resistance or a response, you know.
Have them lead the class next time. Say, would you like to be in the front? And you never know. They can take that aggression out. Like, yeah, come on, let's go. Try
I
that.
told,
Put them
I
in a
was like, "Hey,
position. Put
you
them
want
in
to
a
take the
position where they
class?"
have to, yeah. They go,
I've said that
no.
to him. Yeah, you
Well,
want
then
to take
shut up.
it? He's like, "Oh, no, 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 I don't do this stuff. I'm
See,
out. I'm out."
see.
You know,
But
I was like,
sometimes
"Oh,
if
you
they
want
do
to?"
take it, let them. See, and you never know. He'll probably turn out to be your friend afterwards.
Yeah,
This is really fun. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, this is
Because they just
great.
want to get that sense of like importance and stuff. Man, you said half an hour. I'm looking at the time and it's been an hour.
Yeah, yeah. I told you, easy, right? You know.
Man, yeah, it is kind of pretty. You made it really easy because I was really nervous. I was like, what the fuck am I gonna talk about? And I
Well,
was like,
I,
I'm really nothing. I'm like, there's nothing about me that's like interesting.
well,
But what would I want people? Yeah,
I don't do this podcast in a traditional interview format. I just chat with people.
exactly.
This is,
Yeah.
dude, I call this a podcast, but this is really just us getting to know each other. You know,
Yeah.
um, and we're just doing it in a thing I'm recording, and I'll edit. Like I'll edit it
Uh-huh.
down to, I'll probably remove some of the stuff I said that, um,
Yeah, can
I
you remove
ca-
some of the stuff I said too? I'm just like
I'll be careful with what I put. Like nothing that can
exactly.
compromise us.
Yeah.
That can hurt us in any way. But it's really
I
all
know,
it
like
is.
the whole thing is gonna be like only 3 minutes.
I know. 1 hour, I'll get like 45
It's like
minutes worth of content.
put it, yeah, exactly. But yeah, this is really fun. I mean, I didn't think it was gonna. I thought, yeah. Well, I didn't know what. You know what? I'm old. Podcast is really new. I know it's been around for a while. I just recently discovered that like Snapchat is pretty cool. I've always done Snapchat, but it's like I've never really got into it. So I'm like, slowly getting into like the groove right now. Pretty soon I'll discover TikTok. I'm just kidding. But
It's just
yeah,
conversations. That's all. That's all it is.
yeah,
Look, I had a list of stuff that I wrote out just in case we got stuck, you know,
uh-huh.
and I didn't have to reference any of it. You
Oh,
know,
cool. Were
it's
you
just
able to get everything though?
yeah, it's just a conversation. I
Yeah.
didn't really I didn't get into the magic because you were talking about magic. I
Ah,
don't,
maybe
you know,
next time. Wink,
yeah.
wink. I was like,
Yeah, there you
I'll
go.
tell you a little bit about magic. I know, huh? Yeah.
Uh, you
So
said
yeah, man.
magic mixed with
I play
something
with,
which
yeah.
tied to magic. So I wrote those two things down, right?
Yeah. That would,
Do
yeah,
you
that's
actually
diving.
say again?
Well, that's diving into spirituality, like
Yeah.
spirituality, the occult and stuff like that. And that's actually that I don't put out much, but soon,
Well, I sensed that. Yeah, I sensed that. That's why I
yeah,
didn't, yeah, I kind of
yeah.
gathered that where,
It's a
your
very
language.
it's a selective audience. However,
Yeah.
it shouldn't be feared or anything like that. It needs just to be, more people just need to be more informed about it, because people fear, what they don't know. But if you
Yeah.
inform them of what it is and they understand what it is, then they have a choice
Well,
of whether to like it or not.
even a word like the occult immediately will make a person take pause.
So, whoa, yeah.
It's
Like
like
a cult, because you hear the
occult.
cult.
You
Yeah,
know, occult,
yeah, because
darkness, evil. Like it's
you
immediately what you
know what it
think.
is? It's the yeah, like cult is like, because you think of like that one guy that marries like 24 women. That's why when you
No,
say
no,
cult,
I'm not thinking of a cult. I
I
hear
know.
the
I mean, I'm
word
just saying.
occult.
Oh,
I think of straight up like fucking
oh, the
sacrificing
devil.
children and evil and stuff. Which
No, shh.
you
It's not sacrificing children. It's offering. No, I'm just kidding. Why do you think I look this young?
know, language is everything. It's not a
Ex-
sacrifice. It's an
it's
offering.
it's an offering. It's an option. Yeah. Yeah, we can talk about magic.
Metulhu does not like the word sacrifice. Metulhu prefers
Exactly.
offering.
Offering,
It's funny.
so it's just, yeah, it's just like saying science or biology, like it's a name for it,
So
like
like
a collection. Yeah.
you legit believe in the stuff, like you believe it's
Yes.
real, like without there's not a doubt in your soul that magic is real. And
Yes.
with that, does that also include deities such as God, the devil, things like that, or is it completely separate?
It all goes with it, the universe.
Hmm.
We're all part of the universe. Yeah, even if like God, the devil, all in one. That's all. Yeah, because you can't be good and not have bad. You know
Right.
what I mean? So they separated that just so we can see the difference. But technically it's all in one. It's the yin and yang of no, we're diving into this. It's gonna be another 2 hours. But yeah, it's a yin and yang of life. It's the dark, like, for every dark side there's a light. For every light there's dark. And same thing as like God cannot exist without evil. Evil cannot exist without God, because otherwise it'll be just be evil. So that's all in one entity and stuff. And the universe. I mean, we call it, deity or God or Jesus. Everyone has a name for it. It's fine. Our religions,
Yeah.
it's fine. It's whatever that will make you a better human, go for it. I'm not gonna force you to be a Catholic or to be a Muslim or to be this, to be that. Whatever that will drive you more compass, go for it. Believe it, own it, and live by it. You know, and there's no religion better than the other. It's just how you practice it. So yeah.
Right. It's kind of like I've been doing reading on it too. I've always wanted to understand religion and the history of it. I have a couple books on the history of it, and I've had some pretty in-depth conversations with some friends and stuff. And it kind of was like your uh well, no, let me not do that. You want to drink this drink, right?
Uh-huh.
Maybe you take this path to drink it. Maybe you
Uh-huh.
take this path to drink it.
Uh-huh.
Maybe you think this, and that's
Uh-huh.
religion. But
Yeah.
it's all going to the same
Yes.
place, so to
Yes.
speak. It's an
Yes.
oversimplification, but it's kind of like
Yes.
how we've
Uh-huh.
come to, after like many in, I mean, as a matter of fact, if you just simply study religion and
Mm-hmm.
you look at the similarities between all the different deities, it
Mm-hmm.
becomes understood that everything stems from the other. The
Mm-hmm.
stories,
Mm-hmm.
the minor differences. So it's
Start with,
fascinating.
if you're gonna like dive into that subject, um read up on Egyptians.
I have a couple books on that. The
Yeah,
gods
and
of
pagan
Egypt.
and paganism. Yeah. And
Yeah,
then you'll see the connection of of Roman Catholic and all this other. Yeah.
oh, it's
But
fascinating.
yeah, it is fascinating.
You
Women were worshipped. Women were like, that's why back in the Egyptian, when a man reaches a certain status or a position or a certain level of consciousness, they grow their hair as a
mm,
symbol of greatness, of power. And guess who has long hair? A woman. And a woman doesn't have to be masculine to be powerful. See, when I don't like it when they say, you gotta be, equal to a man. I mean, any woman who wants to be equal to a man lack ambition. That's what I say. Because there's really no, you can't. You gotta have your masculine and your feminine. You gotta balance that out. We all have that inside. You have a feminine side and you have a masculine side. That's we all have that. Sometimes our masculine comes out more. That's when the women are like, yeah, I'm an independent, strong one, and that's perfectly fine. But let me tell you, here's another giveaway life hack. uh, Being feminine is more powerful than being masculine once a woman knows how to use her divine feminine energy, because that's what Cleopatra used
mm,
to to get help. Yeah, it's all divine feminine. It's women. being a woman is powerful enough. We create life. I'm not saying, men, but like, I'm just saying it's like women, like sometimes they forget their own power, you know, and they don't want to use that feminine. Oh my God, I feel so weak, like if I'm this and I'm that, and like if I were to act this way or that way, or if I were to
Well,
cry, or if I were
it's
to
a
like need
male
help.
dominated
But
world,
yeah,
right? You
it
know, we
is.
we
So
live in a male dominated world, and the perception of power is physical strength, right?
yes,
It's
and and
physical
and
brute
and who made it?
force.
And who made it that way?
Oh, the
Man, of
dominating
course.
male. You know, the
Yeah.
ones who, it's interesting stuff. I really love. I mean, but it's like you said, we would be on for another 3 hours if we started tackling this, because there's so much
Mhm.
to unpack, and so much to, you know so many. I mean, religion, all that stuff. It's very, very, very fascinating to me, and I I wish I knew more. I've been studying. Right now I'm actually watching a series on Amazon called Great
Oh,
Greek Myths.
okay.
Great Greek Myths is very
Yeah.
fascinating.
What
Zeus,
what have you?
you
Oh, Zeus. Oh my God, Zeus.
Zeus was a
Yeah.
whore, like this dude had
I
impregnated so many other goddesses and nymphs, and
yeah.
like
Now
this dude was just a straight up, you know my
now you
man
know why
loved.
Hera is the way she is, the wife. She,
Which one?
like
Because there were a couple of
the
the jealous one, or
the jealous
was,
one. Yeah, the
was this
mother
the one who
of,
was his
yeah.
sister? That his
Oh
sister
yeah,
became
they're
his wife?
sisters. Yeah, Hera. Yeah,
Okay.
she's
Yeah,
yeah she's
yeah.
um she's actually the one that made Hercules killed his family. Ah, they don't
Oh,
say that in the movies, but
I haven't
Hercules
gotten
killed
that
his
far
family.
into
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I haven't gotten. So they did mention Hercules very briefly
Mm-hmm.
in because they were talking about primarily Zeus, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I'm sure they're gonna get to him because they are actually very thorough.
Mm-hmm.
It started, the very beginning was about Gaia and
Mm-hmm.
Uranus, I believe was the name, Uranus. So the sky and the earth, and then they made the Titans, the Cyclops, the giants,
Mm-hmm.
and all those children. And
Yeah.
from there it continued and ultimately came Zeus.
Mm-hmm.
It was very fascinating stuff. It's really,
Yeah,
you know,
and they have like, and then there's different gods too. Like the Athena's gonna be, yeah, you'll hear about her too.
she did come up.
You know,
What was the deal with
and there's
Athena? Like,
Poseidon, and then there's also I know these things, and then I just
was
drew blank
Athena
all of a sudden.
what was she the god of? Is she the god of hunting?
Athena?
Athena?
Oh,
The
gotta be.
arrow? She the one with the arrow?
No, that's Artemis.
Artemis. I saw Artemis
My
yesterday.
daughter's favorite. Yeah, she
Yeah,
she
they had
loves Artemis. Yeah,
Artemis yesterday.
she dove into that too. My little girl, my youngest one, she's only 13, but she's got like the Greek. Yeah,
It's amazing.
it's an
I
amazing thing. Yeah,
I think I gotta
the
watch it
Pandora, and
again
then
because
and then they talk about Pandora. That's why it says Pandora's box. Yeah, they talk about Pandora. Yeah.
it's very, very. It's on Amazon. I don't know if you have Amazon Prime. If you do, you can check it out. It's
Now
really
I don't have
cool.
Amazon Prime budget.
All right, all right, all right. You
Looking for
have K.
sponsorship, Nestle. My kids have I think my daughter has Amazon Prime. I mean, we'll watch it. She's actually the one who I discussed this topics with, because she's into that. She's into like
The
all this,
13-year-old?
you know. Mm-hmm. No, no, no.
Cool.
Well, her too. Like all of them have different like topics, that heavy topics that I
Hmm.
discuss with, which is amazing because sometimes I learn stuff from them. My eldest one,
Oh,
she studied like the Egyptian religion, and then she's studying, she was also studying the occult and stuff like that, and herbs and spices are what you use to you naturally cure yourself. um
yeah.
she's studying business. She's all kinds too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's really fascinating. I wish there, one, I didn't need sleep, right? I wish I didn't need sleep, and I wish I started reading and educating myself on this stuff when I was younger, because
Mhm.
I have friends who did it, and I was like, you fucking nerd. I was out there like playing basketball, playing video games, or hanging out in the street, and my boy was like reading about like Egypt, and you're a fucking nerd. Come on, let's go hang out. He's like, no, Discovery's having a special on, like on something, and he would,
Yeah.
but in
Make
hindsight,
fun.
you know, I wish I paid more attention to that stuff too, because it
Mm-hmm.
is fascinating to me. Language
Mm-hmm.
in
Mm-hmm.
itself. In Spanish, we say this thing called ojalá. We say ojalá. It means um I hope,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it
Mm-hmm.
comes from inshallah, which is an Arabic word.
Mm-hmm.
Inshallah, God willing,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But I
Yeah.
never knew that. I thought it was just ojalá, Ojala, ojalá. But
Mm-hmm.
it's ojalá. And
Allah, which is God. Yeah.
I never knew that, So
Yeah.
a lot of the words that we have come from these different, so it all just
Mm-hmm.
blows my mind. And, you know, wish I was smarter than I was. So I could absorb it, because I just watched the Artemis one yesterday and I didn't remember her name, right? I'm thinking of Athena, but it's so much information being thrown. That's why I'm thinking I should
And
watch it
her
again.
twin brother. Yeah, her twin brother, right? Artemis. Okay, that's like a test. Pop quiz. Who's the twin?
Hmm. Let me think about this, because I got the
Okay,
name.
he's a guy. He's a male. That's a hit.
I I don't know right now. I can't remember.
Then
What?
you'll read about it then. I don't want to ruin it for you because it's a good, I like the history of Greek. My first tattoo is in, well, not really my first. That's not my Is that my first tattoo? No, not my first tattoo. My second tattoo is in Greek. It's a dedication to my children. It's in Greek. I've always been fascinated with Greek, the language, the gods, the place, Greece. But yeah, my second set tattoo is in Greek with on my back. Yeah. So
It's pretty. It's pretty. It is amazing. It's. I mean, like I said, we would be here forever because there's so much to talk about and so much to unpack. You know,
mhm.
completely 360 here. You are a proper martial artist. Like, you can actually fight kung fu, or you're like a beginner. Like, what exactly?
I will neither confirm nor deny that. I am bound by the secret society of martial arts. No. Yes, I am actually an instructor. So yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Cool. So, like, you can actually fight. Do you feel that you can fight? And if somebody attacks you, can you defend yourself like properly? I'm
Well,
asking because I'm not planning to attack you when I go to
I know.
California next week, where I've already pulled your address secretly that you don't know about. It's nothing to do with that plan, right?
Let me put it this way. The only thing that I fear happening when I do get into a fight is the conflict of whether I want to put them in the hospital or in the cemetery. Let's just leave it like that.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I always wanted to learn kung fu. I just wasn't built for it. So I
Oh my gosh. Come
I'm
on.
look
Everybody's
at me.
built for it. It's all about
I can't even, like, I have a hard time wiping my ass. So how am I gonna do like kicks and
if
punches?
I can
You
if
know,
I can if I can bring down somebody who's like over 6 feet with probably over 200 pounds, and with me I'm 5 feet. I'm like
but
probably
but your
110 pounds.
body
But
can do the stuff that is necessary. My body will break. You know,
no,
like,
it's called conditioning. You gotta condition yourself just like any other stuff that you do. If you practice, once
yeah.
you say, "Oh, I can't," then your body will be like, "Yeah, it can." But when you say you can, your body
Oh,
will be
true,
like, "Oh yeah, I
true,
can."
true.
So it's like convincing yourself. Oh, that's another topic. Is that we
Yeah.
can actually convince ourselves to cure itself? Yeah, because our cells listen to our brain. So that's why they said don't the negative thinking will have your all your cells in your body prepare for that negativity, and that's all you're gonna see is
Mhm.
negativity because that's all you're feeding yourself. You know. So, but yeah, that's another.
Yeah. Yeah. I trained
So,
jujitsu.
but
Like, I was more,
oh,
like, I was built for that. So I I'm a short, stocky guy. I can choke people out. And I like my
Nice.
frame and my body is built for kind of like gotcha, bitch.
You
Like
know,
that's it.
jujitsu, like jujitsu is a pretty good martial arts, and it's not my personal choice.
Mm.
However, it works for some people. It doesn't work for me. I just don't like it when you're training. So you have their balls in your face. I don't like that because they're always like knocking you out, and then they're having you like you're like in between their freaking and you're like, what the. So I don't like sweaty balls on me when I'm training. So that's why I stayed away from jujitsu. Basic. That's basically it. But jujitsu, if you're built for it and you can apply it correctly, it works.
Mm.
So yeah, it's not really the system. It's the practitioner. There's
Right,
no such
right,
thing as like a system's better than karate is better than kung fu is better than karate. No, it's all about
right.
the practitioner.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you keep you healthy. Can you defend yourself? And if you can,
yeah.
I'm not
Discipline
gonna,
too.
I am one of those individuals that believes that some martial arts are tougher than others because of what you see in, well, not tougher, more effective in the street because of what you saw in the
Yeah.
earlier UFCs. And I don't know if you ever watched
Mm-hmm.
those and stuff, but so
I've
that's
seen it.
why
Yeah,
that's kind of why I leaned towards like Brazilian
yeah.
jiu-jitsu and things like that, because
The mixed martial
you know
arts. Yeah.
yeah, because I tried karate, I did kung fu for a bit, and I realized that before I can ever actually fight, I will have to train for years. Before
Of
I can be a,
course,
no, meaning that before I am
it's
able
not
to
immediate.
actually,
Yeah.
whereas Brazilian jiu-jitsu, wrestling or boxing, day one, you're actually fighting. That was the big difference I saw. And also saw that with
Mm-hmm.
Krav Maga. Krav Maga, the guy gave me a black eye the first day,
Mm-hmm.
because he told me I'm gonna hit you, and I didn't take him seriously, and he hit me. So
Let me tell you. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
no, so it was just like within the first day, you actually have someone's balls in your face. You know what I mean? So you're
Sounds like a
fighting.
date. Sounds like my Tuesday night dates.
So day one, I was already fighting. So
Mm-hmm.
by 3 months in, I've been fighting
Mm-hmm.
for 3 months. So I felt
Yeah.
confident that I could fight. Whereas when I was doing like the karate, the guy had me, 3 months, I was learning this.
Mm-hmm.
Oi,
Yes.
oi, oi, oi,
Yeah.
and I just wanted to learn how to fight. Again,
Yeah.
it goes back to my insecurities and my
Mm-hmm.
my anxiety and stuff. I want to feel safe. So that for me it worked for that. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't knock the other martial arts. I still very much
Mm-hmm.
admire them, and I wish when I was younger I had the resources to learn kung fu, so that now at 40 something I would actually know it for real. Like
I didn't
it's one
I
of my
didn't
big.
learn I didn't learn I didn't learn kung fu till I was in my 30s. I just it's actually I didn't do that when I was younger. I was more like
Oh.
the Hawaiian dancer, the performer, but always like been fascinated with fight scenes. I'm like, oh, how do they do that? Stuff like that. So
Mm.
yeah, like you want to learn how to fight. I mentality. You want to get in there. You want to learn how to block. You want to learn how to punch. You want to learn how to do this and do that. Yes, there's some system who will teach you right away. However, the principle behind it is missing, because what if you come across somebody who will punch you harder? You may know how to fight, but if you don't know how to use your power, if you're overexerting yourself, then you're gonna get your ass knocked out. What? A black belt is actually a white belt that practiced for a long time. That's why it turned black. The belt turned black. That's
Oh,
the theory behind that.
right,
What
right.
kung fu and karate does to you is it teaches you that discipline you know, of calm and peace. Because when you fight with chaos, when you fight with
Mm.
aggression, all that energy and all that extra, unnecessary movement will actually be your disadvantage, because first you need to learn how to ground yourself, you know,
Yeah,
like you
that's a
can't,
big
how are you
problem
gonna
for me
remain
too.
standing? Yeah, how are you gonna remain
Yeah,
standing if you don't know how to stand?
yeah.
Because you may be able to punch this, but if your legs are weak, you're gonna get yeah, that's the first, like those are like, that's why they start you with like a horse stance, when you have to spread your leg,
Yeah.
and then you kind of like
Yes.
sit. That's why it's called a horse stance, because people used to fight on a horse. So that's why it's so like I always tell the kids when I teach, pretend you're riding a horse, and they usually get it. So, and then they teach you that it's part of discipline. It's part of grounding yourself and learning, your center line, learning your body. You need, because you become a weapon. You don't want to just fire a gun without getting to know the parts. So that's why it's important for you to go through that, like, that process, because you're getting to know your weapon and you're getting to know how to use it properly. It does take a long time, and sometimes when you start too young, you lose interest sooner or later, because when you become a teenager, you're gonna want to do other things. So
you want to start wrestling, and
yeah.
yeah,
But like parents like to do that, but it's okay. It's like I said, I don't knock it, but I'm saying, like, if you want to learn how to fight, you gotta be like in it 100%, because it's worth it at the end. The more you know about martial arts, the less you're gonna want to fight.
For sure.
I was aggressive. I did I'm not into belt system or anything like that. This belt is just, keep your pants up. That's what it's for. But but when I first started martial arts, I was like very aggressive. Like, I want to start shit. I want to test it, That's because that was coming from an anger, and I would have got my ass kicked, hands down, if I would have gotten into a fight back when I was still starting, because I was like, yeah, I know how to do this, but no. So, but like, I think I'm at a level now where I'm like, the best defense is just not to get into shit,
Yeah. You walk with,
like,
also there's consequences. If you hurt someone, I mean, I don't know how well, I think California would probably be just as bad as New York in terms of if you hurt someone, because you're going to get arrested and you get in trouble no matter what. So you don't want that, you want to avoid, I walk the street. I'm still, I'm a white belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with 3 stripes, right? But I've been training for a long time. I just stop and then start and stop and stop. So I've never progressed, but I'm fairly confident that I can defend myself. But I don't, I don't look for conflict. I don't want, because I'm also aware of consequences. Also, I can get shot.
Exactly.
So you don't want to get shot.
Yeah, it teaches you also like that, like I said, that discipline, and you have like this, and then you become more kind of like like the self-confidence is there, and then you become,
so you don't have to prove yourself. You don't have to be, look how tough I am. And that's all, again, it comes back to ego. It comes back to ego. And that's probably what happened with that dude earlier today at the gym. Ego.
Well, it was. Yeah.
And
it's
my
all,
ego was cool, where I was kind of like, I'll stay passive.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So,
I'm
like,
not trying to.
That's exactly. I mean, you gotta like, there's a difference between like ego and then the self-esteem. Sometimes, the system will feed onto your ego. Yes, ego will let you know you're better than anybody because you know this. That's the ego talking. That's the one that you're feeding on certain, when you want to learn to fight right away. That's what you want to feed. It's like that ego, like, I know this, so I'm better than you, so I'm gonna kick your ass now. But if you go into a system with building your self-esteem, it is more like, I'm better than me yesterday. It's more like a character building of yourself, no comparison to anybody else, and with that in mind, you become more self-assured. You become more like like secure of what you can do. And so that way you don't like people who are secure about themselves, who know themselves, you don't hear them bragging, or you don't hear them talking or paying attention to like whatever, or putting anyone else down, because people with that, they understand that people are different. No one is better than the other. We all are just good at what we do. No one's better than
good
it.
at being us.
Yeah, like you may know, like it, the ego will say, I'm prettier than her because my hair is longer, but the self-esteem will say, okay, she's got pretty hair, but I have a pretty smile, like it's okay. Yeah.
Right.
So
Right. Oh,
that would
she's
be it.
got
Yeah.
pretty hair, but that's cool. That's all
That's cool.
good, and
Yeah.
so do
That's
I,
okay. Yeah.
and
Like
so do I.
exactly.
That's it.
You know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the difference. And that's the
Ego is
same
a
thing as how you
whole
approach.
ego is a
Yeah.
whole freaking other thing. I still have, I think, a 2-hour episode that I have to edit about ego that I did with
Yeah.
2 guys. So I haven't gotten around to it. It's too long. It takes a lot of time. It's tiring.
Yeah. And
Editing.
having an ego really is not bad. It's like we all have an ego. It's just a matter of like what you feed it, like
Yeah.
what you
Keep your
how you
ego in
want to
check.
like in
Keeping it in
check.
check.
Yeah, ego in check. Ego is just basically like being aware of your existence, and people are aware of your existence. You don't have to tell people that you exist. They can see you.
Yeah. Oh, it's funny. Hey, hey, listen, I
So
got you
yeah.
on here for 90
Oh,
minutes.
man. Yeah.
So I'm gonna end it there.
I know.
Because I got you
Yeah.
a long time, but it's been a
Oh my
pleasure.
gosh.
It's cool
Yes,
to
thank you so much for this opportunity.
yeah, it's great to meet you. You know, you know, you know what we haven't done? Well, did we?
Mars
Did we?
Cross.
We haven't
I know, like
officially
what did
introduced
we
you.
learn?
Who are you?
Who is she? Have you seen my new one? Who the fuck do you think I am? You're asking me? I'm a magical motherfucker. I have a video of that, yeah.
Hey,
But
real quick, tell people who you are, because I didn't do an intro.
My name is Mars Cross. And that's it. I'm just someone that Angel sings with on Smule, who happens to have other things going on outside of Smule.
Oh,
But if you want to get to know me more, come to Crossing Mars Media. I'm gonna keep plugging that.
Yeah, of course,
Yeah.
of course.
Well,
link
on the caption.
Yeah.
Oh
link
yeah,
in the
but you know what? I want
description.
to plug Music Madness. I know.
Of
Let me
course.
plug Music and Mad. I'm gonna plug you. Shameless plug here. If you have Smule app, come find us. Music and Madness Entertainment Group. And join the Madhouse. You'll see it. You'll see us making noise. You'll hear. I don't know if you've heard it, but people will be like Madhouse. But yeah, come and check us out. Music and Madness
It's a lot
Entertainment.
of fun. It's a lot of fun singing, and
Yes.
that's a great app. I enjoy it. It's not as active as it used to be for me in terms of people joining, but it's still fun.
Yeah. And I know. I did the Earth Angel.
I saw.
I haven't done the Wake Me Up. Yeah. So I think I'm gonna do the Wake Me Up before we go. Before you go or we go. I just recently found out that that's about sex or masturbation or something.
Is it?
Wake Me Up before you go. I never knew that. Yes.
I
Before
learned
you
it right
reach
now.
that high, wake me up.
Take me dancing tonight.
So
I thought he was actually going to dance.
Oh no, it's actually a term. Yeah.
Wake me up.
We should, we can talk about new stuff.
Leave me on that. So
yeah, like read it again. So think of it as like, yeah, somebody trying to get a one night stand, or yeah, basically, yeah, yes.
Take me dancing tonight. Well, that's.
I know. I started. Yeah.
I always thought he just wanted to go dance.
Tonight. It's basically.
That's my innocence.
That's what I thought too.
That's my young innocence right there. Still pure.
There's so many misheard lyrics that I've been singing. Yeah, I learned that like there's this song like Our House, right and I thought it was in the middle of the street. I thought that.
Isn't that what he says? That's not what he says?
Not. I forgot what it was, but it's not it. No, it was something else. In Our House, in I don't know, but it's not in the middle of the street. But yeah.
Oh my God, really? You just heard me say that lyric, right? Because that's exactly what our house. I forget the.
And then so that's why I stop in the middle of collabs sometimes, and I'm like, oh my God, I didn't know that they. Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Now I gotta look this thing up. In Our House, replacing
and we never really
with,
like even bothered looking it up before.
Well, we didn't have this when it was out. Like we didn't have the actual. Our house in the middle of the street. That's the lyric. It's showing up on the lyrics thing as the lyric. Our house in the middle of the street. Our house. Something tells you that you've got to move away.
Yeah, no, that there was a lyric there, but it's not in the middle of the in the middle
Of our
um
street is what I see
of
here.
our street. Yeah, in the middle of our street or some, yeah, not in the middle of the street. I thought the
Right.
house is actually in the street.
It's funny.
Yes, I thought it was in the it's in the street, but it's in the middle of our street, which is like, whatever street you have, right? The street name.
I have been surprised by quite a few lyrics too that I didn't,
And I'm like,
I
oh my god, I didn't know that. Yeah.
I've been saying wrong all along.
Yep.
That's funny. Wait,
No.
it has been a pleasure,
Thank you so
and
much.
we'll definitely do it again. It'll be fun.
Oh, I'm
Um,
welcome again. Oh,
of
yes.
course, this is fun. This is fun.
Hmm.
I'm not gonna lie. This is 90 minutes, so I'm gonna take a while to edit
Shit.
it because I
Damn.
am, I am so I've become so lazy with editing my podcasts. Because I also edit them for work, and
Hmm.
it's very tiring. Recording them and doing them, it's fun, but going through
Yeah,
and cleaning them up, it's just very, very time
man.
consuming. So I've
This
gotten
this might
pretty
actually become a series.
yeah, yeah, for
Episode
sure.
1, episode 2.
Yeah,
No. Um,
because we've got so
but
much to
yeah,
talk about. But
there's
it
so
was
much
really
that we
cool.
talked about.
Yeah, it was so
Yeah,
cool to,
from
actually chat to
from
you, you know.
from weed to like in the middle of our street.
From weed to parenting. Let me
The
see, I wrote it down.
parenting, yeah.
As
Oh
a
my
matter of fact, I
gosh.
started writing down like, because uh, it makes it easier for me to break it down. I said weed,
Hmm.
parenting, dating, mental health, uh,
Oh,
song
dating? Oh my
lyrics.
goodness.
We briefly
That's
covered it
briefly correct.
about
Yeah.
toxicity, and I said dating,
Yeah.
mental health, and
Yeah.
so then I would put that in the title. You know, uh, I have to I have to edit it. So it'll probably come down to, I don't know, maybe an hour and stuff. I'll make sure
Oh
that I
man,
take
it's too
out
long.
anything, you know, anything that's in any way incriminating, or I know I said some
I'm
stuff that
excited. I know. I
I
think
said
I
some
might have
stuff I
said some
wanted.
stuff too.
Yeah,
I
there's
think I
some
might have
things
said some stuff too. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I trust you, and I know it's gonna be like a freaking dope ass podcast. So I can't wait to hear it, and I
Awesome,
can't wait
awesome.
to share that. No one knows. I think I only told a couple of people that I was gonna be on, on your show. But you know me, I never say anything. I just kind of like come out with it. Oh, here's the link.
Check it
But
out.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So I look forward to that, and I
Great.
can't wait. And
Yeah.
it's a pleasure. I'm honored. I was nervous for nothing. You made
Yeah.
it
See, I
really,
told you.
really bearable. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I kind of, I mean, from singing with you, and just even when you're doing the songs, you throw in the little ad libs and your little conversational pieces throughout
yeah,
some songs. You could kind of sense the vibe of the person you're gonna talk to. I think you can kind of, like, I wasn't at all worried that I was gonna be uncomfortable. You know, like I
yeah.
didn't have, I could sense you were a little anxious.
Hmm.
But I had a complete confidence that we'd be able to talk like old friends who just catching up. You know, I
Yeah,
just
like that. What you said when you said like, oh, we're just gonna chat about, I was like, okay, okay, so we'll treat it as a conversation. So yeah,
yeah,
that's
just a,
actually kind of like eased me up. So yeah,
yeah, just
pretty
very
cool.
chill. Um, I don't have this with everyone. There's some people I get on with, and it's kind of like, so you have a thing called madhouse, and then they go, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we have a madhouse. So you want to talk about it? Well, it's just a music group. Cool. And then I look at my list. So weed, huh? You smoke weed? Yeah, I like to smoke. Cool. So But I said weed to you and you broke out. You started talking about sativa and Indo whatever Kiva and like you get what I'm saying?
Kiva.
The conversation just,
Yeah.
so I wasn't worried. I kind of
Oh,
felt,
nice. Cool.
I felt that's kind of,
I know.
the one yesterday or the day before, I was a little anxious, and
Mm-hmm.
rightfully so. The conversation was kind of awkward. It was, you know, just like I realized, that I got to be a little more careful who I do a podcast with, because
Mm-hmm.
some people you just don't vibe with. If you don't vibe, you can't talk.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can't
I
talk.
see that. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's the same as dating, right? you know
Exactly.
you could put somebody really fucking hot in front of me, and
Mm-hmm.
if I don't vibe with them,
Not
just
gonna work.
it's just fucking
Yeah.
super hot and gorgeous, but if there's no, you
Mm-hmm.
know it's it just
And
doesn't
like
work.
it's interesting because like you would talk about something and I always have a story behind. Like I can like I was already finding like something that can relate to it, and I'm like
Hmm.
but then I didn't want to interrupt you, so I'm just like, you know what, next time, But yeah, it's like it's a good you
I
flow
will
really
cut out a
well.
lot of my talking too. I want
No.
it to be more you talking, but
Hmm.
that's the thing, because you have a limited amount of time. You just met, in our case, right? We just met,
Yeah.
and there's so much that could be covered.
Yeah.
So we're both trying to, like, share this, share that,
I
trying to
know.
make up a lifetime of sharing in a few
We've
minutes.
known each other for a year, but this is the first time we had a conversation. That's like,
Yeah.
so it's like the first time meeting each other, but we've actually known each other for a year, believe it or not. Like
Yeah.
last year we started singing last year, and then you were like in and out of Smule, and then it was just, yeah. So but this is actually the first time that we're really getting to know each other, but I knew that you had your son and stuff. Like sometimes he's in the video.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that one time he was in it, so yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't like to be on my stuff too much. He doesn't like me to tag him. He's like, I don't want people to know,
I know.
I don't want
My
people to
kids
know
too.
who, I don't want people to know who my family is and stuff. I'm like, fuck, bro. Yeah, you know, the fuck, man.
Yeah, like
He's
you
like,
can be so cool to some people, but then your kids is like, no.
yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, some of
you're
his
just
friends know
mom.
me.
Yeah.
His friends all like me. They think I'm cool and stuff, but he still has boundaries. Like, they created a Discord, and I joined the Discord, right? And my
Uh-huh.
son was like, yeah, pops, I really don't want you on the Discord. I'm like, why not? I play the games with you guys. I want to be in on when you guys are playing. He's like, it's cool. You can play with us and stuff when we play online, but you know, uh, could you not be in the Discord? So I had to leave the Discord because he's like, there's 12-year-olds in there. I'm like, who cares? We're all just talking about gaming. He's like, it's weird, pops. I'm like, all right, whatever, man.
Yeah,
So
yeah, okay.
I left
Fine.
Discord. I respect his space. I think it's
Yeah,
important to like if he for whatever reason doesn't want me to, I just fuck it. I'm out. I don't need to be there. You know.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you raised them well to make good decisions too. So yeah.
Yeah. If he's telling me he's not comfortable with it, I owe it to respect him that
Hmm.
this is your world. You keep it your world. You know.
Hmm.
Um. So it's all good.
Exactly. Yep.
It's all good.
I know. I have like all this stuff that I wanted to, like, there's one that you mentioned something about vertigo, and I had a funny story
Uh,
about vertigo. And because like I'm into zodiac signs too, the occult, the
yeah.
magic.
Your
um
children sacrificing.
in
Yes.
my
Yes.
yeah, my children sacrificing. I had a nurse call me once because I had vertigo during that time, so I was dizzy and I was like, like out of it. And she's like, you have vertigo. And I'm like, no, I'm a Capricorn. I don't, I'm not a Virgo. So
Oh my
yeah,
God.
that took about 3 minutes for her to convince me that she was saying vertigo, because I thought she was saying
Not
that she was
Virgo.
convincing me I'm a Virgo, and I'm like, no, I'm a Capricorn. I was
It,
born in
it,
January. Yeah,
that's funny. It went
but
away on
yeah,
its own type of thing, or
it went away on its own. I just couldn't like do much. Yeah, vertigo
yeah,
happens. Yeah, that's the suckiest part. It's like you don't know when it's gonna happen. You
yeah.
know, so you have to be like at home for
Fucked
a
me
while
up.
because
It,
yeah.
it messed me up during COVID, and
Hmm.
and I put on like 30 pounds because of it. It
Oh
was
wow.
the catalyst that started,
Yeah.
my downward spiral at that point.
Well, it's
Because
because
it
you
was,
can't do anything.
yeah. And
That's
then,
all you can do.
what do? You seek comfort. You know where my
Hmm.
comfort comes from?
Pasta. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, because that's
pretty
my comfort,
much.
but like pasta.
Yeah,
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 I love
pretty
pasta.
much. Food. It comes from
Yeah.
food.
Uh-huh.
It would be three things, right? Food, sex, or self-sex, right?
Oh my God.
Those are my comforts, right? And
Yeah.
it primarily becomes food. That's the
Yeah.
the most dominant factor in,
Stuffing
you know,
things.
just you know.
Yep.
So that's
Exactly.
so I gained all this weight, and it all started because of the vertigo. Up until I got vertigo, I was still running, I was still out there training,
Hmm.
and then when all of a sudden everything started spinning,
Hmm.
it just made it all too easy for me to reach for that Haagen Dazs for comfort.
Well, yeah,
You
because
know,
you're back in the gym now, so you should be all right because the muscle remembers. It's then
yeah,
you're still active. As long as you're still active, I say as long as you're still active, you're all right. You know.
yeah. I'm working on getting back.
Yeah.
Getting back to that place. So all in time.
Uh,
You know,
exactly.
all in
Do
time.
you hear that? Do you hear that? That's a train. That's our BART station. I live near it.
You call it a train. I'm thinking y'all got trolleys, little
I know. Oh,
little
that's in San
wannabe.
Francisco.
Y'all
Those
got
little
little
trolleys.
wannabe trains. You got
No,
these
like
wannabe
that's in
trains.
San Francisco. That's the San Francisco one. This is actually like the subway type, where like you don't know if somebody had peed there or not, or somebody had done some, yeah, like don't touch any wet things on it. Mm-mm,
Ugh,
no.
gross.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff. No, I think now it's like they clean it. I hope so. Because of, yeah.
COVID.
COVID. COVID.
Before it was just gross, but it was all good. It's like, yeah, it's pee, whatever.
Yeah.
A
Now
little
it's like,
COVID, and now it's different. It's like, well, it's
yeah.
pee, but it's also COVID pee. Changes things.
It's COVID pee. Is that COVID pee? I want to use that. is that
Is
COVID
that
drink?
pre or post COVID pee? Funny.
Exactly. Man.
Oh,
Are we
well,
going for 2 hours?
it has been swell, and
Yes.
yeah, we'll be in touch. I'll
Okay.
I'm gonna try to edit this sooner than later.
Okay.
And once I have it ready, I'm gonna shoot to put this up next week, right?
Oh,
So
cool.
I'm gonna put this one ahead of the last one I did, because that conversation was just not really fun. So I
Don't
don't
say
care.
that.
Well, you know,
There's got to be a reason why that happened at that time.
okay.
You probably needed to hear that message or the situation of how it made you feel. There's a lesson
Mm,
behind that. So if you look at it in a different perspective of like
that's a good
as a
point. Yeah.
learning, you know,
Yeah.
you can actually you might actually appreciate it more that happened because you're like, huh, I didn't see it that way. But take
Right.
a look at it again and see what you can take away from it instead of like kind of just going, oh, that
I
was something
immediately
that was
shut
just,
down.
yeah.
Yeah. I was
Mhm.
like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
I was just sitting there like whatever. If the universe was trying to tell me something, it was
Hmm.
completely lost on me, because I was fucking shocked. Like, not shocked, but I was just
Hmm.
like,
Yeah. Yeah.
what? Yeah. I'll re-examine it. You make a good point. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That is a good point, that maybe I
Mhm.
missed something, that was being presented. That yeah, I dig that.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know what I just did there? That's actually what crossing Mars media is about. It's removing, but not to get rid of it, but it's just rearranging the thought, removing and
mm,
redefining. And that's what crossing Mars media is really is I'll help you kind of like look at it in a different way so you don't feel, you know,
mm.
a heavy emotion towards it or a certain, thought on it. Because if you see it in a different way, you're just like, huh, yeah, I
Well,
never
yeah,
thought of that way. It takes away a lot of power. Yeah. So
it
you
makes
take back
sense.
that power. Yeah.
Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Um, to try
Of
to
course,
see
I've worked
what.
on it for a long time. That's why.
what was being presented. Yeah, yeah. Like,
Mm,
I wanted us to talk and just have a free conversation. And my man is dead ass just took it on and he was like, visit the new Vitacost Corner Center.
mhm,
Shop
mhm,
first aid essentials over the counter,
mhm,
cold and flu relief,
mhm.
conventional household cleaners, and other items you typically find at your local drugstore, all in one convenient place. The hell is happening here, bro? What?
Yeah,
We're supposed to holler at each other like a conversation, not
exactly.
you know.
Ego.
Well, that wasn't ego. That was just me being bored, isn't it?
Ego.
What?
Why are
Why
you bored?
ego?
What makes you what makes your topic more fascinating than theirs? Why were you bored? What if it's not the situation itself, but it's actually that needs to be changed? But what if it's ourself that needs adjustment in that situation? Ego.
stay
Come
stay
back
tuned
again
for
next week,
part
folks.
53.
Exactly.
Yeah. You want to see Angel cry like a little bitch? Stay tuned. Oh my gosh.
let me crush you so I can rebuild you. And I was like,
You,
you're
you,
boot camp now. And I was like,
yeah. You didn't know we were
yeah,
gonna take him back to boot, did you?
exactly.
Little Air Force
Mars
bitch
Cross
boot
boot
camp.
camp. It's a mission to Mars. Yeah.
That's that, but all that is true though, and these are
Mhm.
things that are good to hear. So, yeah, I'll definitely. You already have the IG page. It's
I do,
created and everything.
and it's created and everything. I'm still doing the vlog though. I've already have enough stuff in there that I talk about, but I want there's gonna be more. It's because it's a baby. It's literally
Yeah,
newborn. No one
yeah.
knows. I haven't even. This is the first time I'm announcing it. By the way, on your show, it's the first time I'm announcing it. I've never told it in public. I've told, like I said, like, I'm very private. So only my family and close friends know when it was
Mhm.
being built. And so, like I said, this is the first time I'm launching it. That I have a Crossing Mars Media. I own the whole thing, even the logo on it. So yeah, I have the rights.
Very cool. Very cool. I'm definitely
Mhm.
gonna check it out.
Yes,
Well,
please
thank you so
do.
much.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much for your
Two
time. This has been a
hours.
pleasure. Yeah, I know. And
Yeah,
it feels easy, right? It's
it
not,
does.
you
It
know,
does. It seems like I can talk forever, but I know we gotta like some
but
kids to feed or something. I don't
it's but
know.
it's all vibes. And like I said,
Mhm.
I already kind of knew, that you were good vibes, and I'd be able to
Yeah.
talk with you. Like I knew it. I kind of,
Well,
I wouldn't
I have
have.
a stage fright. Believe it or not, I'm really shy and I get nervous. Yeah, it's fun. It's just weird like that. But if
Well,
it's new, then yeah, I'll get really nervous. Like Smule, I didn't show my face either. Like no, there's no. And then little by little, I started showing. And then now it's like I don't give. Now it's like I'm
you don't
smoking in
stop.
there. There was one time I forgot I
Hey,
was in a
what's up,
collab. I just
bitches?
started talking. Yeah. You should watch the one that I did with a Bismarcky collab. I forgot I was in a collab because I was just like kind of like chilling with her, and I'm like, oh shit, this is not a video, this is a collab. But yeah, and it turns out pretty funny actually. People get disappointed if I don't mess up the song. You did that
It's just
perfectly,
fun.
damn it. No.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just fun. You're just having fun. I love it. Like
yeah.
I used it a lot when I got laid off. I spent a lot of time on Spiel. A
I
lot
think
of
that's
time.
all. I think that's all we did really, because that's yeah. There was nothing else, so
Yeah.
either that or you sold Tupperware. I don't know.
That's funny.
Yeah. All right.
Well, my lady,
If you don't stop it now, we're gonna go for 3 hours watch.
okay.
Easily. Easily, guaranteed.
Yeah,
All I
yeah.
have to say is tarot cards, and then we're gonna open up a
Oh my gosh.
All right. Cut it now, Angel. Cut it now.
All right, all right. All right, I'll talk to you and
Bye.
I'll let you know when I get everything ready, okay?
Okay. Thank you so
Uh,
much. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye. All right.